Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm going to be having a go at today's Times crossword in a moment or two's time. It has a snitch rating of 100 as I record this, which basically means it is perfectly average in terms of difficulty. So we shall see what we shall see. I've got a couple of things to mention first. I'm going to start with a happy birthday, actually. I love the fact that we're getting birthdays in these videos, but Tim, it's your birthday today. And I know this because your sister Natalie wrote in and said that the two of you have been gradually improving at cryptic crosswords via these videos, which is, I mean, it's really is a pleasure to hear that. And Natalie also said that you quite often get on a video call together to work on that day's puzzle, which I love as well. So Tim, happy birthday. I hope you get some chocolate cake, obviously. Many happy returns. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I mean, this is the perfect point to mention this. Dean Mayer's puzzle last Sunday, it was the Sunday Times prize puzzle, is absolutely exceptional. I have actually I made it last night, a short video just talking about some of the clues in that puzzle, because they are absolutely brilliant. Dean is one of my favourite setters. I've always made no bones about that. But that puzzle featured about 6 clues that were just utter brilliancies. So that's going over on Patreon. It'll probably be this evening, because we don't want to, obviously, it's a prize puzzle, so we don't want to release the answers or anything and ruin the Times' competition. So that's coming, I think, today, but probably late today to Patreon. It's just a short video, just 15 minutes of me basically eulogising about the clues. Also over on Patreon every month, by the way, we get Mark's solve of this one, the monthly club special. But I don't know when that's going up, so that will be at some point, but not necessarily yet. Anyway, let's. It's not the quick cryptic; it's the normal cryptic. Let's get cracking. Here we go, and we've got one across. Identify with friend wanting daughter. Identify with. Okay, I don't know what this is yet, but just to talk through my process of how I'm trying to break down the clue. Obviously, almost every cryptic crossword clue has a definition in it. It's almost always at the start or the end. So here we're probably looking for a word that either means identify, identify with, or daughter. Now, I don't know many synonyms for daughter. So I sort of, but I know that daughter can be abbreviated to D. Let me just show you that. Remember, all abbreviations have to be supported by the dictionary. There we go. Second one. D is daughter. So what I think is happening here is that we need a word that means identify or identify with. And then we need a word for a friend that wants for its D, so it hasn't got D in it. I mean, obviously the word friend has the D in it, but it won't be that simple. Oh, come on. I'm thinking pal, chum, mate, China. None of those have a D in. I don't know. Right, let's try one down. Venue with food around the centre of Stafford. Okay. Well, the centre... Okay, right. The interesting thing about this is that the centre of Stafford is fairly explicit. If we think of that in terms of cryptic crossword language, that seems to be pointing at the centre of the word Stafford. And Stafford actually has 2 centres, doesn't it? It's got double F in the middle. And that's enough for us to get the answer. So if we think about a 4-letter word involving a double F that might be a venue involving food, then I think it must be CAF, short for cafe. What's wrong with my typing today? So what's this CA doing? Well, around, circa. Circa is approximately or around. So we've got circa plus the double F for the centre of Stafford. And that gives us our venue with food. So let's go back to this one. Identify with friend. With can be con, I think, C-O-N. So identify is to confirm? No. My brain isn't working. Let's try this one. Defence and intelligence occupying 2 hospitals right now. Forthwith? It probably is forthwith, because that begins with fort, which is a type of defence, isn't it? It's a defensive structure. So let's put forthwith is within. Oh, it's got 2 H's for 2 hospitals as well. Wit for intelligence. Okay, so I didn't show much wit in solving this, but it does seem to be forthwith. So we've got defence, fort, intelligence, wit, occupying, so inside, 2 H's. H is a valid abbreviation for hospital, and right now is forthwith. And do we get any? Well, we get a decent H in 3 down. Let's look at that. Tennis player's trophy for winning a series of matches. Tennis player's trophy. Tennis player's trophy for winning a series of matches. A series of matches in tennis. Well, a series of games in tennis is a set. Tennis player. I mean, when I first read the clue, I thought of Arthur Ashe. Oh, well, it is. Okay. That's a clever clue in a way. No, it is a clever clue. So, the reason it's clever is that you get, or my brain at least, got obsessed with tennis. And I was thinking of winning a series of tennis matches. But we have to change sport. So it was Arthur Ashe. So we want Arthur Ashe, apostrophe S. So we'll add that S on the end. And we get Ashes. Now the Ashes are a trophy, the small urn, that was made, of course, when England first played Australia at cricket. And they burnt the stumps, I think. And those Ashes are still obviously competed for once every couple of years now. So I think Ashes is what we're after there. We don't get a very good checking letter in 1 across. So should we try? Let's try 5 down first. We've got an H in that one. How associate starts generating capital. How? Okay. I haven't got this yet, but no, I haven't got this. I thought it was going to be how associate starts. I think it was going to be a phrase that described how the word associate starts. So I thought it was going to be with an A or something. But that obviously doesn't fit with this H. How associate starts. Generated. It's going to be the name of a capital city. Okay, and that's a terrifying prospect, really, because there are so many. Oh, Athens. Oh, A then S. Oh, I like that. That's very clever. So I was on the right lines by thinking it was something to do with how the word associate starts. I just didn't think of A then S as a possible answer. I was thinking with A, but A then S is lovely, isn't it? So the capital of Greece appears. A place I've been to a couple of times in my life, both very enjoyable, except the second time it was to see Liverpool lose a Champions League final. That part of it wasn't enjoyable. Anyway, 5 across. A chap holding mug and tumbler. It must be acrobat. It must be. A tumbler is an acrobat. I don't know why yet. I'm going to put it in and then we'll think about it. A chap. So A chap could be a cat. Yeah, okay. So a cat, it's sort of a slang term for a man. Often a cool person, I think. Cool cat. And then holding mug. Well, if you it's not talking. The clue is trying to make you think about drinking receptacles. But if you mug somebody, you rob them. So we've got rob in a cat to give acrobat, which is a tumbler. And that's given us some starting letters, so we should use those. Rest putting article in prompt. Yeah, okay, so this is a fairly classic crossword answer. I'm not sure why it appears in a lot of crosswords, but I just feel it does. And it's a fairly common construction for that word. So what we're looking for here is an 8-letter word, which means prompt, into which we're going to include an article. Now, if you see article in a cryptic crossword, it almost always means either a or an, sort of indefinite articles, or the being the definite article. And here we just need an a. So if we think of a prompt as being a reminder, and we put a in the middle, we get remainder, and the remainder is the rest of something. So that one is a bit more straightforward if you have a little bit of experience. Let's try 7 down. Top of big. Okay, I haven't got any further in the clue than that, but top of big seems to me to be saying let's take the top of the word big. Now there is a philosophical question there. Do words have tops? Is the first letter of a word the same as its top? I'll leave that for discussion, but anyway, I think top of big is going to be B. Tree enveloped by single blaze. So it's going to be a word that means blaze. I'm thinking bonfire. It is bonfire. Okay, it's bonfire because it's fir is the tree, F-I-R, and that is enveloped by a single. Well, if you score a single is a word for one, isn't it? So O-N-E surrounds fir. We get bonfire, which is a blaze. Let's try. Oh, hang on. Is that right? This one begins with T hyphen. T-bone steak. It must be. I've just looked at the piece of meat as the start of the clue. So it's going to be T-bone steak, and now we have to justify it. So piece of meat, T-bone steak, in one basket put out next to back of supermarket. Well, again, we have to be used to these phrases like back of supermarket. It is not referring to your local Waitrose or Tesco's. Other supermarkets are available, and the back of the supermarket. It's referring to the back letter of the word supermarket, which is a T. And then it looks like an anagram of one basket put out. So put out is saying anagram. Put those letters out of order. That would give us 10 letters altogether. So I think that's probably right. So T-bone steak. Let's try that one. Is that mango? A lot of seedy. Seedy, is that mangy? Is that what that's trying to get at? Plus O for old? Probably. I mean, it's going to be mango. We're looking for a fruit that's M blank N blank O. I think it must be mangy for seedy. Yeah, we'll look that up at the end to confirm. 15 across. Onset of publicity ad prior to opening. Okay, the onset of something, if you're leading the run up to a festive season, Christmas would be Advent, wouldn't it? So we've got publicity ad for advert, and that is put prior to a word for an opening, which is event. So Advent. And then we'll have a look at this one. Past. I don't know, I want to put infinite in there, but it's obviously wrong. Right, leaders from all sides in 7 cities frantically, needing capital perhaps. 7 cities frantically is what it seems to me to be saying anagram 7 and cities. Which would give us, 11 of the letters? We need 13, do we? Leaders from all sides. So maybe that's A and S. So A and S in an anagram of 7 cities. Cash something. No, actually there's no H in 7 cities. I was thinking capital in terms of needing finance. Something like I keep thinking of cash intensive, but it's definitely not that. It's going to be needing capital, perhaps. It's not. I don't think it's referring to a city. Why can't I see what this is? Why is my brain so useless? Naughty brain. Oh, I don't know. I can't see what that is. That's absolutely appalling. That is, I mean, that's just unforgivably bad. Anyway, let's have a look at 2 down. It's a wonder. I'm up. Right. It's miracle, I think. And about to tuck in to drink. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this clue. But it's not too difficult if you take it piece by piece. So it's a wonder is the definition. I'm up. Well, what could that mean? It's in the middle of the clue, so it's very, very unlikely to be a definitional part of this clue. Well, and it's a down clue. So I'm up is immediately saying to me, okay, let's reverse the word I'm. Let's put it up. Then right can be are. There we go. Mir. We're looking for a word that means wonder. So it is miracle, and it's just justifying the akal at the end. And about here, we've already seen around being used for circa, ca. Well, about is also circa. And that gets tucked into ale for our drink. And that's, okay, oh, compare? Compadre? Yeah, I think that's it, is it? If you compare yourself with somebody, you would identify with them. And compadre is a word for a friend, and we take the D out and we get compare. So let's see if that's supported by 4 down. Agent initially expected to omit a line. Okay, right, so the critical thing here, we're very lucky actually we have this E, because it allows you to read the clue correctly. So agent initially, if you were thinking that's the initial letter of the word agent, that is a great thought. That is a great thought and could have been correct. Grammatically, that would have been perfectly reasonable. But when we've got this E in the answer, we can see that we could read this clue as agent being the definition and initially expected being the initial letter of the word expected. And that's this E. And then we need a word that means to omit. Well, let's try miss. If you miss something, you might omit it. Now, let's look then specifically at this A in the clue and ask what it is doing there. And all good clue writers, in my opinion anyway, something sensitive. Anyway, sorry, let's go back to this one. There shouldn't be anything superfluous in a well-written cryptic crossword clue, and we can be sure that the Times crossword, it is the gold standard of cryptic crosswords. It's not going to have superfluous letters or words thrown into every clue. Now, so this A is doing duty, and what do I mean by doing duty? Well, let's read the clue if that A wasn't there. Agent initially expected to omit line. How does that change the meaning of the clue from agent initially expected to omit a line? It doesn't change it a jot, really. So that A must be necessary for the wordplay. And it is, because, most of you will have got the answer, I'm sure. Emissary is the answer. And this A in the clue is this A in the word emissary. And line is railway, R-Y. Let's just take a look at that. R-Y. Railway. And so that does come up from time to time. So we were helped there by getting the first letter. But also, if you see A's floating around in clues, be aware they're probably necessary for the wordplay. So lead us from what? Needing capital, perhaps. Oh, case sensitive. Ah, very clever. Case sensitive. I was thinking, I was so obsessed with capital being a sort of financial term that I couldn't see past cash. But case sensitive, if something needed a capital, it would be, as in a capital letter, it would be case sensitive. So that's going to be the answer. And we've done the top half, actually. Now, okay, now if I was solving on my own, I would look at 12 down now. So I will look at 12 down, even though I've got no checking letters, just because, look, you get this, you get 5 initial letters. So it's a massive breakthrough in the puzzle if you can get 12 down cold. Vehicle maker in decline. That's true according to reports. So I'm instantly terrified of this one, because according to reports makes it sound like you're hearing things, doesn't it? Oh, you're hearing from reports that something's true. And that is classic crosswordese to mean that this answer will be a homophone or involve a homophone. So a word that sounds like another one that's spelt differently. And if that's all correct, that would suggest the definition here is vehicle maker, which is a weird definition. Wagonsmith. That would be quality if that's the answer. That won't be the answer. Wagons. I was trying to think of whether I could make that wagons no myth for something that's true would be a myth, no myth. Myth as in M-Y-T-H. No, it's not Wagonsmith. Stop thinking about that. That's ridiculous. Let's try and get the 13 across. Nearly everything presented by each politician is random. Well, okay. Now, this is just crossword knowledge. I know there is a word, aleatory, which I think means if something's random, it's aleatory. And I can see that ends in a Tory, which seems, well, Tory is a politician. So I think this will be the answer. We just have to justify it. Nearly everything, so that's nearly the whole of the word all, A-double-L, so A-L, presented by each, well, EA is a valid abbreviation for each, and then politician for Tory, so it is aleatory. I'm not changing the answer, so I'm happy to look that up. There we go. Depending on contingencies, used of the element of chance in poetic composition. Wow. It's quite a cool definition, isn't it? It comes, oh, look at that. It comes from aleatorius, from aleator, a dicer in Latin. Now, the only reason I'm in any way sort of cognizant of any Latin at all is I remember Jacta est alia or something. Jacta est alia? The die is cast, isn't that what Caesar said as he crossed the Rubicon or something? I could be talking total and utter nonsense, but hopefully you don't mind. It's something like that. So Jacta est alia or est alia. Jacta. Yeah, I can't quite remember, but it's something like that. Anyway, 14 down. In addition, the only reason I know about Jacta est alia or Jacta est alia or however you say it as well is from the listener crossword many years ago, where it was a phrase that you had to discover. I was going to go off on another one there, another anecdote about listener crossword. No, come on, focus. In addition, energy is included in the cost. In addition, I don't know what this is yet, but I think it's going to be in addition, like a word like that means together with or something. And the reason for that is the rest of the clue and how it is phrased. So energy, which I know can be E, energy has short synonyms as well, like pep and vim. Go. If you show go, do you show energy? Maybe. Is included in the cost. So if something is included in something, that suggests you're sort of repositioning it, which would suggest that this part of the clue is the wordplay. So we need... You see, also here we could ask, what's the word the doing in the clue? In addition, energy is included in cost would be an absolutely similar meaning sentence to in addition, energy is included in the cost. So that makes me wonder whether actually this clue involves the word the, an E for energy, and then that's going to need a 5-letter word for cost, price. In addition. I haven't quite got it. Yeah, I haven't got it, but I think I'm on the right lines in terms of understanding it. Should we try 19? It's got an A at the end. Group of animals and horse featured in my research material. Oh, group of animals. That could be, is that herd? And horse featured in my. My is a difficult one there, because my as an exclamation. If you said my, you mean my goodness. Core, for example, C-O-R. Oh, I mean, that's actually not bad. Maybe it begins like that. Horse could be H. Featured in my, so that would give core. Now I need research material, 4 letters, ending in A. Research material. Data? Core data? That is a possibility, isn't it? Is there a group of animals called a chordata? I can believe it. It's possible. I don't know the word. Let's see if the A is justified. Attorney initially. Well, that sounds quite good. That's the initial letter of the word attorney is A. Raring to go wild. And make... Oh, arraign? Make an accusation? If you arraign, don't you make an accusation in court? So raring there is anagrammed. It goes wild. The letters go wild. So I think I will go with chordata. I'll look it up at the end. 16 down. Dietary component. In the main, cut out. I haven't got this one. Don't really understand this one. Not sure what that means. Okay, we might have to try this one. Roller coaster. It has its up and R. Oh, it is going to be roller coaster. Gosh, yes, I'm lucky. I mean, I've just basically lucked into that. So car firm opens plant. It has ups and downs. So I was looking at it has ups and downs and trying to fit it into a 6-7. My first thought was helter skelter. And then I thought of roller coaster. And roller coaster is good because it begins with roller. And a roller is sort of a euphemistic expression for a Rolls Royce. So we've got roller for car. And then we've got firm. A firm is a company. Opening... hang on. Is this working in terms of its structure now? It should be. Yeah, when it says firm opens plant, it just means firm appears at the beginning. It sort of premieres for the word for plant, because an aster is a plant. I mean, it would be perfectly permissible as well for this construction, firm opens plant, to be put the word plant outside the word or the abbreviation for firm, because that, you know, it would sort of be opening it. But it's an absolutely fine construction as well for it to literally open the word for plant. So roller coaster is what we need there. Should we try 17? Rev about. Well, that could be a reversal of rev. I mean, rev's a weird word to put in a clue. To appreciate something valuable. Something valuable. My first thought was asset. Something valuable. If you rev an engine, you gun it. G-U-N. So could we think of a 3-letter word for to appreciate? No. I haven't got that one. Let's try 21 down. Small stroke producing messy handwriting. Okay. Well, here what you have to know is that small has an abbreviation. And you'll have seen this on clothes. If you ever look at a rack of shirts or whatever it is, t-shirts, if you look at the label, if you saw S on the label, what would it mean? It would mean small. Well, let's put S at the beginning here. And we need a word, therefore. If we're correct that small is the letter S, then the other side of the clue is going to be the definition. So it's either handwriting or messy handwriting, beginning with SC. And suddenly the clue becomes very easy if you can type. So a crawl as in front crawl, which is a swimming stroke. Let's try this one. Black cuckoo breeding is invigorating. Well, that's okay. That's very difficult. It's very difficult in a way. Anyway, I do know that there is a short synonym for a black cuckoo, and it is Annie. Let's look that up. Annie, the black cuckoo. I mean, it's so outrageous. If you don't know that, you're going to be reduced to getting it from, the checking letters. And whereas if you do know it, it's a write-in, because if the black cuckoo is breeding, the Annie is mating, and animating is invigorating. If something invigorates, it animates. So suddenly that becomes much easier. I apologise on behalf of to anybody who doesn't know that the Annie is the black cuckoo. Of course, I only know that because I've done a lot of cryptic crosswords in my life. Is this going to be Ogre? No, Agra is what it's going to be. It's going to be the Indian city of Agra, which is the home of the Taj Mahal, which is certainly a mausoleum site. So area is A, with grand G, river R, and another A. So it literally spells it out. Area with G-R-A, mausoleum site, Agra. Let's try 23 down. Mustang, possibly. That's a horse, isn't it? Or I suppose it's an engine or car as well. Heading north through dry region. Okay, I have got that. And actually, I did need to know that Mustang was a type of car to get this, or to explain it anyway. So, this one, we're looking for a word that means region. So as usual, the definition is at one side or the other, and here it is at the end. So Mustang, possibly, we need to know what a Mustang might be an example of. That needs to head north. Now this is a down clue, so if something heads north, it reverses. And that word, that three-letter word, for what Mustang is an example of, reverses in an abbreviation that means dry. Now if you are teetotal, you are dry, you go without alcohol. And then we need a region, so we need tract there, and we have car reversing, car going north in TT. Now is this Titania? Estonia. Okay, land drifting into sea. Fairly classic. In fact, I'm fairly sure in Dean Mayer's crossword in the last Sunday Times there was a clue that was almost identical to this. So the crossword compilers have noticed that into sea, which is a very natural phrase, can be anagrammed to give Estonia. So these letters are drifting. So we anagram them, we get the name of a land or a country, and then we're just left with this one. Now this is a dangerous one, because if we can't, there is no more help to be gleaned from the grid. So dietary component, in the main, thiamine? Yeah, okay, so it's a sort of, yeah, that's very difficult. I don't even know what thiamine is. Is that some sort of vitamin? Is that the real name of vitamin? Don't know. Maybe C. No, it probably isn't C. But dietary component, thiamine. I think I've seen it on the side of cereal packets. You know when it lists all the ways in which your Cocoa Pops are good for you. I think one of the things on the side of the cereal packet is thiamine. And how does it work? Well, thiamine is therefore a dietary component. And if we look at the letters in, the, and main, cut, that means cut the word main, chop its last letter off, M-A-I. Well, then we'd have in, the, may, which is 8 letters. So we turn those letters out, we anagram them. And I think that gives us the correct anagram fodder for thiamine. So thiamine crossing with chordata there is not very nice, is it? That's definitely tricky. But we've still got the southwest portion to do. Let's try 18 if we looked at this. No. Vessel created with brass over long period. I don't know what this is yet, but I quite like the idea that it might end in age or even era for a long period, or even eon. A galleon. Yeah, but if you show, oh gosh, it was literally the last thought I had. I was thinking of short synonyms for long periods of time. I thought of age, I thought of era, I should have thought of eon, because that would have given it to me much more quickly. A galleon, obviously, is an old sailing vessel, and if you show gall, you show brass, you show, yeah, fortitude. And okay, so now which one should we go for? We've got a G, we've looked at that one though. Oh, what's this? Something valuable. Yeah, I've got this. Okay. So again, it's fairly tricky. And actually, I had the right idea when I said that rev an engine was to gun it. So, but if I turn the word gun over, I would get the word, well, not the word, I'd get the partial piece of the answer, nug. And that's enough, because now I'm looking for something valuable that might begin with nug. And I thought of nugget as in a nugget of gold, and then you realise, if you appreciate something, you get it. So nugget is going to be the answer. Now, what's this one? Oh, the vehicle. Oh, it's not wagonsmith. That's a bit of a shame, but it's not. Vehicle maker, Wainwright. I don't believe it. I literally don't believe it. I thought of wagonsmith, which literally is somebody who makes wagons. And a Wainwright is a much better word for somebody who makes wagons. And it fits. I don't know if it's right, but I bet it is. Wainwright. Now, is there... No, I was wondering if there was part of my subconscious that was almost playing a trick on me there and thinking... And it made me think of wagonsmith as a joke. But there is no part of my subconscious that appreciated that right, W-R-I-G-H-T, was a homophone of true. What's waned? Oh, to wane as in to wax and wane. Yeah, so it is a homophone. To decline is to wane, W-A-N-E. That's true, right, R-I-G-H-T. And then if we hear that, or if we hear Wainwright, if we say the word Wainwright, it would obviously sound exactly like Wane and right in their meanings of decline, and that's true. So Wainwright is right, and Wainwright is, I'm pretty sure, somebody who makes wagons. A maker of wagons. It literally just says it, a maker of wagons. Oh, that's... I don't know if that's embarrassing or not. Is there a word, wagonsmith? Wagon... Oh, there's no word. Wagon... Oh, hang on. Oh, maybe there isn't. No. Okay. Wagon right. There is a word wagon right, which is no doubt defined as Wainwright. I know it's also a maker of wagons. Okay. Anyway, enough of my strange mind. Let's go on to 25 across. Place for putting. I see. I play a lot of golf. So when I see the word putting, I always think of it as the word putting rather than the word putting. But it is going to be, it must be green, mustn't it? Last bits of rather sensitive inside information, yes. So it's the last bits of the words, rather and sensitive. They are R and E, and they go inside a short synonym for abbreviation, for information, which is gen. You might not know that one. It's another crossword term. Give me the gen. It means give me the information, the general information, the lowdown. What's the gen? So we've got green here, a place for putting. And you can see that if you're not used to thinking of the word putting, then read this again. Place for putting last bits of rather sensitive inside information. It has a very different feel, doesn't it? Much harder to get. So what's this going to be? Tennial? Work outside home with fine tinfoil. Fine metal sheeting. I don't know why it's that, but I bet it is. Tinfoil. That would be thereunto, could go in down there. Let's see if tinfoil is right, though. Work outside home. Home is... Oh. No, it's fine. Okay, so it's not... The definition here is not fine metal sheeting, which is what I thought it was. It's just metal sheeting. And then we've got work which is to toil. That's outside. Home, if you're home, you're in, with fine, and F is an abbreviation for fine. I think you might see that on pencils. It's certainly, I've seen it. Let's just see. Fine on lead pencils. There we go. So that's how that works. We've got in F in toil, and this must be thereunto. In addition, or thereunto maybe. Oh dear, hang on. I don't like that. In addition. Well, my first thought was thereunto. Why is this thereunto? Energy is included in the cost. Oh, it is. Okay, that's clever. Yeah. So if the cost of something is what it runs to, isn't it? If something costs, it runs to. So run to is being used as synonymous with a synonym for cost. It is that the is there because it literally is this word the. So we've got the run to with E for energy inside it, and that gives us, I think, the answer to the puzzle. Now, I will submit this. Obviously, I haven't checked chordata or thiamine. But I'll submit it, and then if it's right, we will. Pregnant pause. Yes, it is right. Okay, good. So let's have a look at chordata and see what that's all about. Chordata, there it is. It's here, but I can't see it. Hang on. It says it's on this page. Oh, there. Chordate, a member of the Chordata, a phylum of the animal kingdom, including the vertebrates and protochordates, animals possessing a notochord at some stage of their development. I have no clue what that means. What is a notochord? A skeletal rod formed by turgid, vacuolated cells. Well done if you knew that. But anyway, chordata is correct. Or chordata, I suppose. And then thiamine, which vitamin is this? B. Oh, I got it wrong. Okay, so vitamin B1, found in seeds, grains, beans, and liver. A deficiency of which causes beriberi. Okay, so get enough thiamine, don't get your beriberi. So that's good. Now, what else? Was there anything else that I wanted to double check? Favourite clue was Athens for sure. I thought that was really nice. So let's just look at compadre. There it is, male friend or companion. Take out the D and we get another useful word. Bonfire, T-bone steak, advent. I think that was all of the trickinesses in the puzzle. So let me know how you got on in the comments. I do enjoy the comments to this video, especially every week. It's a video I really enjoy making, and I like to continue it. If only the YouTube algorithm would be slightly more accepting of the fact that there is a big audience out there, I think anyway, for people who want to learn more about cryptic crosswords. So please do drop the video like if you can, and let me know how you got on with the puzzle. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.